Tonight, SA police at war with gel blasters, with retailers now banned from importing them. And regional businesses breathe another sigh of relief with more coronavirus restrictions eased from today.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
Good evening. South Australian police have declared war against gel blasters, with retailers now banned from importing the toy guns. The crackdowns follow a recent incident in Adelaide, but local operators say it's wrong to blame the toys for the mistakes made by owners.
A fight is brewing, with police taking aim at gel blasters, declaring the toy guns a firearm, but they've received instant backlash.
They are safe, that you can use them for fun as toys.
The announcement means retailers can't import the guns into South Australia, despite them still being legal to buy, sell and own in SA. Retailers are up in arms.
It will definitely restrict our business, like we won't be able to get any product in to be able to sell to people.
Yeah, bit of harmless fun.
Gel blasters, like paintball guns, are used in skirmish games and are currently legal in South Australia and Queensland, but pressure has been mounting to restrict the toy following a recent incident in Adelaide.
We've got so many people that are interested in doing the right thing, and it's just unfortunate that you've got these 1 or 2 people that are causing trouble with them.
Gel blasters like this SKD operate by using springs, battery and air compression to shoot the projectile. SA police say it's because of that the toy can be classified as a firearm and therefore want tougher regulations.
Working with the police is the main aim, like we definitely want to do the right thing.
SA police are pushing for operators to have a firearm licence, but retailers say that'll kill the sport. Instead, they've suggested bringing in a hobby licence, which would include a state database to keep track of the guns.
If they do regulate it so that you're part of a sporting club or something like that, I think, if it helps the police to regulate it, I guess it's a better way to go.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Regional restaurant, cafe and hotel owners are among the long list of rural businesses welcoming more customers into their doors today as South Australia moves into stage 3 of COVID-19 restrictions. The welcome change aiming to boost the rural economy once again, with the increase of tourists and local activity helping keep businesses afloat.
Back behind the bar, serving drinks to local customers. It's the day many business owners have been waiting for, a step in the right direction to a post-COVID-19 life.
It's an exciting time. It's great for not only us, it's also great for the customers as well. They're able to stand at the bar and have a drink. And with the gaming room and all other facilities now open, it's almost back to normal.
Rearranging tables and posting COVID-safe reminders all over the restaurant walls. This local pub is following a strict COVID-safe plan.
We do have hand sanitising stations around. We have the foot markers and make sure our staff maintain the social distancing requirements as well.
COVID-safe and management plans are required for public activities. Events with less than 1,000 people and venues offering drinks or a dance floor separately need to have a COVID-safe plan. Events with more than 1,000 people and venues offering drinks with a dance floor together need to have a COVID management plan. The 2 different plans essential to reopening.
Now with the easing, it's made a big difference to everybody, and there's certainly a buzz in the air now with people.
Whyalla hotel owners also excited by the further ease of restrictions.
The foreshore, he's doing really well. We were at capacity on Friday and Saturday night. Unfortunately, we had to turn people away.
Hotel and restaurant owners encouraging locals to book ahead of time in order to avoid disappointment. But the extra interest has come at a perfect time for Whyalla, as a recent increase in tourists is helping boost back the local economy.
So we're seeing visitors coming into town. They want to spend longer, they want to do more things. They've got more time to spend in our region and abouts.
Contact competitions for indoor sports is also now allowed. Venues no longer require a maximum limit, however must adhere to the new 1 person per 2 square metre rule.
We're already starting to see our sporting clubs and our venues opening their doors. They're allowing those patrons through, so really excited by that extra kind of foot patronage.
Sophia Contigonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Despite coronavirus restrictions easing, local authorities are warning the battle is far from over with interstate cases on the rise. People across the Spencer Gulf are urged to still strictly follow social distancing and hygiene measures. Health authorities also urging anyone feeling sick to still get tested.
Despite 3 new coronavirus cases being announced today, South Australia is leading the pack with minimal new cases the past few months. With today's easing of restrictions, people are getting out and about.
The state government to actually start releasing some of our COVID restrictions, but I think we really need to be mindful of what we're doing and how we're going about this going forward.
But that's prompting warnings for individuals and businesses to stay vigilant.
Keep your social distancing. By all means, get back into the community and all that sort of stuff, but just remember what this is all about.
Let's not get too complacent about it. We still need to have the social distance in place.
These measures are in place to avoid a second wave such as the one in Victoria right now. Jeff Brock raising concerns South Australians' borders soon to reopen to the masses.
Borders will have to open sooner or later, but I don't think it's the right time at this particular point.
A timely reminder to keep yourself and others safe. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, a new CEO to manage regional hospitals and Port Lincoln's Fame Awards given the axe for the year amid restriction concerns. Welcome back. South Australian food stores are continuing to monitor limits on essential items as panic shopping restarts in major food outlets. Coles has reinforced a 1-packet limit for toilet paper and paper towel, with Woolworths currently allowing a 2-packet limit on those items. Some Foodlands have increased their restrictions with 1-item limits back on the shelf for toilet paper, tissues and Panadol, and 2-packet limits for rice, flour and pasta. A Victorian man has been fined for breaching COVID-19 directions in Port Augusta. The 28-year-old crashed his vehicle on Parkside Row on Saturday night, where he recorded an alleged blood alcohol reading of 0.229. He had already held a disqualified licence and had entered South Australia just 8 days ago.
People who come into the state under certain conditions are still required to isolate for 14 days. This gentleman had breached that, so he was issued an on-the-spot fine of $1,000.
The man's car was impounded for 28 days and he'll face court in September. The Flinders and Upper North Local Health Network has appointed its new CEO. Craig Packard has worked in human services for more than 2 decades and says he's excited to start his new role and get the ball rolling on some particular concerns.
The community's health has always been his priority, and now Craig Packard is the leader for our region's health.
I'm really proud to be able to lead our organisation and try to make some of that change that's needed to meet the needs of our people.
Recently appointed by the governing board for his passion to the well-being of the widespread health network, which covers the Flinders and Upper North.
He's enthusiastic, he's very dedicated. There's an enormous amount of hours that need to be put into this role, and he fulfils that extremely well.
Craig drove the network through one of our most difficult and challenging times for our regional hospitals.
Particularly working through the COVID pandemic and managing that process with all of the staff as well. I think he's done a really good job in that process.
His roots as a local through and through tip to help understand the needs of patients.
I think the community will appreciate that someone local is leading the organisation. I understand the community that I work in. I've lived here.
Obviously his local knowledge was really quite important through that process. He's been working here and has an enormous amount of experience working in this particular area and in this role, in fact.
Now, the first job in the new job to begin implementing the health service plan, with employment high on the list.
Our people are our most important resource and asset, so I really are looking forward to how we develop, retain and attract the workforce that we need here.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Lincoln police have been left shaking their heads after nabbing multiple people driving under the influence over the weekend. It's alleged 2 motorists were found to have methamphetamine in their system, while another 3 drivers were caught driving under the influence of alcohol. A 48-year-old woman and a 39-year-old man both lost their licence on the spot after allegedly blowing more than double the legal blood alcohol limit. Meanwhile, a 26-year-old man was caught with a blood alcohol level just over 5 times the legal limit on Friday in Port Augusta. The man has been remanded in custody and he'll face a court again in 2 weeks. Port Lincoln's annual Fame Awards is the latest event to fall victim to coronavirus restrictions, with organisers having to axe this year's event. The night is the major fundraiser for the City Band, which is now looking at other initiatives to try and stay afloat.
It's one of Port Lincoln's biggest nights, the annual Music and Short Film Awards, celebrating the city's creativity. But despite organisers' efforts, the decision has been made to close the curtain on this year's event.
It is a bit of a shame, but you know, everyone else is in the same boat.
The event was set to go ahead next month, but with COVID restrictions and social distancing measures in place, organisers came to the tough decision to scrap this year altogether.
Not being able to get other community groups involved with our rehearsals and preparations, it was just a matter we had no other way to go about it.
Although the night is a chance to show talent and creativity, it also plays a major role for the City Band. It's the largest fundraiser for the group, which is now trying to rustle together other ways to stay afloat. To add insult to injury, the recent round of federal funding for the arts doesn't include community groups.
We are just looking at some other smaller fundraisers just to get us through this year. We still do have ongoing support from council, so that'll be really good to help keep us, going.
Organisers say the show will go on next year, set to be bigger and better than ever.
We're still open to getting the entries in, music video, short film competition, so yeah, take advantage of the extra year.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. Students and their teachers embrace mud across the globe as part of International Mud Day. And O Week kicks off at Port Augusta's Uni Hub with students learning about their future. Hello again. Students at Whyala's Samaritan College have spent the day immersing themselves in muddy puddles, celebrating International Mud Day. The event encouraging students to get in touch with the earth and the environment through play and learning.
Jumping and splashing in mud, a dream come true for most of these Year 1 students.
Our kids are very, very happily exploring the mud. They're having fun, they're playing.
Had lots of fun in the mud today.
International Mud Day, promoted by Nature Play SA, the perfect opportunity for Samaritan College students at St Teresa's campus to do just that.
Samaritan has a culture of curiosity and play, and these children are really enjoying being outside.
Eager to put on their little gumboots, the children get ready to have some fun in the mud with the fancy new blue suits.
We bought them through Nature Play SA. This is the 3rd year we've used them, and they're amazing because the kids can just pop them on over their uniforms, do as much as they want in the mud, and then they're free in their uniform for the rest of the day.
Running for a 3rd year in a row, the activity promotes play learning and helps the children understand and get in tune with the earth and environment.
So when children are playing, they are developing a range of skills such as problem solving, teamwork, curiosity. They work out how things work, they discover, and so that then springboards into our learning throughout the day.
A great way to incorporate learning, something the children can't get enough of.
It was really fun and interesting. I had lots of fun today.
As well as jumping around and creating a splash, the children even made mud castles and in some cases mud food.
I made mud soup.
Showing we all have different tastes. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Orientation for Uni Hub's 2nd semester has kicked off with a handful of students learning about what to expect in their next stage of schooling. Students have been provided an opportunity to meet their coordinators and hear about support services on offer.
The beginning of the next chapter of a study journey.
Like an introduction both to the universities that each of our students are studying with, but also an introduction to the Uni Hub and the type of services and support that we can offer the students.
Students at Uni Hub touring the site and learning about support services. A welcome lesson for second-time university student Angela.
So I've done a degree before and I didn't have enough support and ended up leaving, so I'm hoping to have more support this time and be around others and learn from them.
Uni Hub's here to provide support for students that do online study, so that's what the Uni Hub provides, those support services, but it's also a really good opportunity for them to meet students that are also studying the same qualifications.
Days such as today allowing students to navigate their way through their degrees and understand who to go to if in need.
Access for face-to-face study compared to online is very disproportionate, so having this face-to-face time to meet both with Kim and I as the coordinators as well as the other students, is unbelievably important.
Angela is ready to begin her degree in psychological science, and while she's unaware of her career pathway, she can't wait to see where these opportunities will take her.
I'm liking that I have multiple options and that it's all within social work realm because it all interests me, and basically the whole area is interesting to me, so we'll see what happens.
Laura Milovanovic, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Northeastern Areas is one of few football leagues kicking off their games this weekend. Fans from across the Mid-North are gearing up to support their teams and get back into the games after an anxious hiatus.
This empty oval soon to be hosting hundreds of local supporters. Club presidents working around the clock before the siren sound this Saturday.
Oh, I'm very excited about it. It's taken a lot of work to put it together, and it's taken a bit of work from other personnel in the clubs to be involved. So
2 teams have decided to pull the pin on the 10-match round, BBH and Southern Saints. Clubs such as North Clare and South Clare say they're full steam ahead but will adhere to social distancing recommendations.
Do things like download the COVID Safe app, and when they come here on Saturday to remember the social distancing, the rules and regulations, as most people are aware of these days.
Other people around the club as to who can and can't enter the change room, so only players and coaching staff, etc. And trainers will be allowed through the change rooms.
The game is hoped to be a major economic boost for the town, with clubs opting to buy local produce.
The sausages at the barbie to Little Red Grapes supplying the bread to wrap around it, and the pies and pasties and that. So all that money just gets injected back into the local community.
While certainly a relief for players and coaches, community members are itching to get out and be social in these colder months.
kicking around with the football and kids and everything else, so it's good for that mental attitude, I think.
Northeastern Areas is not the only team to be kicking off, with Northern Areas in the Spencer Golf Leagues given the green light for the weekend. Over to the Eyre Peninsula, and the Far West Football League has pulled the pin on its 2020 season, but Port Lincoln's Association will be kicking off this Saturday. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. After the break, Britt will join us with the weather. Hello again. Now let's hear from Britt to see how the weather's shaping up this week.
Thanks, Louise, and good evening. After a cold morning, we saw sunny skies today. Clare with the region's overnight low of 0.1 degrees recorded just before 7:30. Port Augusta not much warmer, down to 0.8 this morning, but warming up to 16 degrees this afternoon. 16 was also the high at Whyalla and Woodner. It reached 15 at Port Lincoln, Port Pirie, Kadina and Cleve today, 14 at Broken Hill, Coffin Bay and Adelaide. Taking a look now at today's satellite images, with mostly clear skies over the region due to high pressure and a dry air mass. But that cloud advancing from the west is associated with a front and trough and could introduce showers and the odd storm about southern parts overnight and into tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, to the waters, winds north to northeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas around 1 metre with south to southwesterly swells. And now let's see what Tuesday looks like near you. A shower or two expected at Port Lincoln thanks to that front crossing the coast, a top of 18 degrees. Cleve mostly sunny tomorrow with a high of 19. Woodner mostly sunny and 20. Mostly sunny at Whyalla tomorrow, 19 the high there. Port Augusta mostly sunny and 20. Kadina 17. A mostly sunny day for Port Pirie tomorrow, looking at a top of 17 degrees. Clare partly cloudy and 14, and a sunny day forecast for Broken Hill with a high of 19. Taking a quick look further through the week now, with showers forecast about the west coast, lower Eyre Peninsula, mid-north and York Peninsula on Wednesday. Fine and partly cloudy elsewhere, apart from Broken Hill where it's looking like another sunny day. Port Augusta with a high of 24, Whyalla 22, Woodner, Broken Hill and Port Pirie all 21, Kadina and Port Lincoln 19. Thursday, more showers about the west coast, lower air and York peninsulas as well as the mid-north. Partly cloudy about the remainder of the region. Maximum temperatures ranging from the mid to late teens. And finally to Friday with a very similar forecast to Thursday. Showers about those same districts with maximums between 15 and 19 degrees. And Louise, that's the forecast. It's back to you.
I'm sure it'll be lovely. Thank you for that, Britt. And that wraps up your local news for this evening. We'll see you later with updates. Good night.